Welcome back to Spoiler-Free Wrestling, everyone. And 2019 has already become the hottest free agency period in pro wrestling since the Monday Night War era. With the addition of All Elite Wrestling, and more specifically, their ability to lock up talent to exclusive contracts, the landscape in the pro wrestling industry has changed significantly in recent months. Promotions are staking their claim to talent and talent-sharing promotions, and nowhere else has this been more apparent than with Ring of Honor. ROH has recently locked up Rush Bandito, and rumors are that Dragon Lee will be heading to the promotion soon as well. CMLL and ROH are longtime talent-sharing partners, and each shares a relationship with New Japan Pro Wrestling as well, so it's not surprising that many CMLL talent are signing exclusive deals with Ring of Honor. However, this has had negative impacts for Major League Wrestling. MLW was building to a match between LA Park and Rush over WrestleMania this weekend, but with Rush signing with Ring of Honor, that match has had to be changed to, I believe it's Pentagon is now taking on LA Park. So PW Insider then reported this week that MLW has pulled out of contract negotiations with CMLL's Dragon Lee, as Bauer says there's no upside to the promotion dealing with talent from CMLL anymore, since there's a high rate of CMLL talent signing exclusive contracts with Ring of Honor after being promoted on MLW television. Now, we've seen this as the MLW television was building towards Rush versus LA Park, and now all of that building has had to be scrapped because Rush has signed on with another promotion. So a fan on Twitter asked Bauer about the departing talent and what kind of deals he's locking his talent to. Well, Bauer explained that Rush and some of the other departing talent were never under contracts to MLW. He explained that his contracts are legally binding, and they have contracted talent, of course. However, some of the CML talent they'd been promoting were not under contract. So Bauer says Rush, Brody King, and PCO were never under deals. Our contracts will allow talent to do TV for all non-WWE companies. Why? We want them to get work. If they get more exposure, they win, fans win, promoters win. Now, there are a couple of other factors that has led to Rush and possibly Dragon Lee signing with ROH as well. And one of those factors was brought up by the website luchablog.com or thecubsfan.com that covers Lucha Libre news. And they stressed that Konan's relationship with MLW and his rather not good relationship with CMLL might be playing a factor in this as well. So Konnan, who is plays a key role backstage in MLW. I mean, over the decades, him and CMLL have been the bitterest of enemies. So LuchaBlog.com wrote, something not touched on in the Wrestling Observer newsletter article at all, oddly, is that Konnan works for MLW. CMLL still hates Konnan, and it's tough to imagine CMLL being thrilled to sign deals with a Konnan-affiliated promotion, given the history. Maybe it wouldn't even be the deciding factor, but it's a factor. Now, Court Bauer sort of addressed this on Twitter. It flew under the radar, but a fan asked him, why don't you just use AAA talent instead of CMLL talent? Konan's the booker for AAA. And Court Bauer sort of vaguely responded, as Charlie Chronic would say, boom. So if you listen to Konan's contest, boom is sort of when something is right. So it sounds as though Court Bauer is going to focus on bringing in AAA talent into MLW now and leaving CMLL to Ring of Honor. Now, one more factor that's been playing into this, at least as it concerns Rush and Dragon Lee deciding not to sign with WWE, are multiple reports circulating that Andrade Cien Almas, now just kind of known as Andrade, has been steering luchadors away from signing with WWE. So this was addressed in the Wrestling Observer newsletter. In the case of Rush, he's very close with Andrade, who pretty much warned him and Dragon Lee about going to WWE, wrote Meltzer. Andrade's advice was that WWE wasn't what it was cracked up to being. So remember, Andrade signed with WWE in 2015, spent a lot of time in NXT. If you remember, his initial run in NXT did not get over well. He was wearing a fedora with a feather in it and, what do you call those things? Whatever. Suspenders. There you go. Suspenders to keep his pants up, evidently. And it wasn't until he was partnered with Zelina Vega that he really started going and won the NXT title. However, many fans have kind of said, well, there's a lot of weeks on SmackDown we don't even see Andrade. And however, he is now working in a program with Rey Mysterio. Last week, he defeated Rey Mysterio in singles action. 2 weeks ago, he teamed with Samoa Joe and defeated Mysterio and Mustafa Ali. And we're recording this on Tuesday morning, January the 22nd. And tonight, Andrade and Mysterio are scheduled for a clash in a best of 2 of 3 falls match. And hey, you know, if Andrade and Rey Mysterio are going to be a big feud on SmackDown, that's something to watch. All right. Please make sure to hit the subscribe button, everyone, to make sure you're not missing out on any news or reports from Spoiler Free Wrestling. Thanks again, everyone.